Welcome in, everybody, to Fantasy Pros MLB. This is Leading Off Live. It is me, Joey P. Joe Pisapia. With me, of course, is the Welsh, and it's all of you, the Peanuts and the Cracker Jacks, right here on our channel, twitch.tv/fantasypros. That's the place to be. So, of course, make sure you follow us here. Make sure you subscribe over here. And, of course, you can always watch us on demand on the YouTube channel. That's right, Fantasy Pros MLB. Subscribe there and subscribe here. You get a 1.5 times odds boost of winning our Billy Wags giveaway. Billy Wagner, Hall of Fame closer. See, kids, you can be great doing very little and get paid a lot of money. Just get 3 outs in an inning. Next thing you know, you're a Hall of Famer. Signing baseballs that get given away on TV shows. Lots to talk about today, Welsh. We've got some big offensive catchers returning. We got the Giants, who could be sellers of a lot of offensive pieces. And could Nick Kurtz be the American League MVP? But first, let's start with a ginger. That's right. Our own Seth Dywald. I said last week, the Dustin May quality. He's here today, but I didn't see him last night. And all of a sudden, Dustin May was pitching. And I got to watch the last 3 innings of this start. Got home from football practice with my daughter. He was spectacular. This was a brilliant performance by Dustin May, who has been outstanding. He's been nails recently. He retired 18 consecutive batters after issuing a leadoff walk to Tatis to open the 7th. That ended his perfect game bid. He lost the no-hitter. Thanks, Manny Machado, you jerk. And then to complete the game, 101 total pitches, which is great that they let him go out there. Since May 27th, Welsh, he has lowered his ERA from 4.57 to 3.75. This was a terrific performance. And right now, Dustin May looks like a guy that is truly, I think, turned a corner, which is very exciting because once upon a time, this was one of the big future pieces of that Dodger rotation. Now, the red-bearded man is pitching pretty well for the Redbirds.
Dustin May looks pretty good. Last year, stuff plus 98, location 97, and pitching plus maybe like a collection of all that at 95. Really mediocre, to obviously below average. This year, stuff plus is 103, 5 points up. Location is 102, 5 points up. His pitching plus 105. That is 10 points up. And I mean, not that, you can see the results that are out there, but his slider is dramatically better, as well as his sinker. And that's what he did in this outing. It was a really insane pitch mix he was able to continuously go through. His velo, I was opining about Jacob Mizorowski yesterday about how it was insane that he was able to maintain his velo across the start. Dustin May was 97 the whole game. Never had a dip, and he was able to continuously go to that, they did interesting repertoire of pitches, and he looks like the prospect, that the Dodgers were bringing up. He looks absolutely like the dude, so really interesting to watch. I mean, there's still some stuff that you're floating out of, what level of elite is this? K to walk is fine. It's nothing spectacular, but he's giving up lower barreled stuff. I'm in on Dustin May. He was a great pickup to have early on, and would have been awesome if this was a perfect game. This isn't quite the Mizorowski game score or anything like that, but hey, 9 innings, 1 hit, 9 strikeouts, very impressive.
Well, what's more impressive is what just happened here, because the first time ever when we've gone to this look, I was in the lower box, which I'm fine with, but I looked up and I saw Welsh up there. I was like, okay, well, we're doing something different today, and then it just switched right there on you. Did you? Right, ready, throw. Oh, there we go. Oh my God, how do you do that? This is the magic. See, this is a Cardinals fan who is still high off last night, just moving us all around, doing whatever he wants. It's safe to say he was partying last night. Maybe it wasn't quite New York Knicks style, but there was definitely a couple cocktails potentially after the performance for our producer Seth, who's absolutely incredible. Michael
Another,
Calley
by the way, huge mistake of Boston. Just want to point out the Boston Red Sox. Another massive, embarrassing failure in that they trade away Kyle Harrison. He's incredible. Dustin May is, 1 things away from perfect games. It is. This should be a huge knock on the Red Sox. That organization should have meetings that once again, anybody that they bring in and they just let go of, other people can fix them. So even though it was a very short period of time.
Okay, counterpoint. Obviously, the scouting department's good. It's the old Seinfeld bit about, you're good about taking the reservation. It's the holding. It's the holding of the reservation. That's the key to the reservation. They're identifying the talent. They're acquiring the talent. It's the application of the talent. It's the getting the talent to perform and giving them opportunity and breath to find themselves. They identified Dustin May. They identified Kyle Harrison. They identified a lot of these good players. They just don't hang on to them. So somewhere in the talent evaluation process or the development phase, whoever the advanced scouts are for major leagues are quite good, I would say. I'd be hiring them away from somebody else. It's who's in the interior making those decisions afterwards. That's the group that has to be looked at.
Maybe. I mean, like if you really have like a couple pencil pushers that are sitting around a desk being like, we have to have Dustin May. I'm not sure. I think these guys are getting thrown in their lap. They can't develop their prospects, a minor league player of the year. They let super util guys go like David Hamilton, who could be useful. They make trades for players like Caleb Durbin who fall apart, and they trade away players. If their scouting department was so good, you wouldn't give up James Tibbs after a cup of coffee, or Dustin May or Kyle Harrison. Like they don't know what they're doing. So yeah, maybe there is a guy. Maybe there's like a Jonah Hill type of guy that's like, I don't know, Mr. Bean, and then they go out and they're getting a guy and they just get out. But I'm not gonna give them any credit whatsoever, because it's super cool that you identified them for 45 minutes and then you let them go. And these guys, I mean, imagine Dustin May in that rotation right now. Imagine James Tibbs up in the majors. Roman Anthony's never going to be healthy. He would be great there right now. Imagine Kyle Harrison. I'm not a Red Sox fan. I don't care whatsoever. It's just like, it's actually now comical that every single guy walking through there is just finding wild success in other destinations.
Yeah, I'm sure it got better after they fired the manager, too. That clearly is going to change things for them. Yeah. All right, last night, also a big night for one Pete Crow-Armstrong. So Pete Crow, 4 for 4 with the cycle. That's right, double, triple homer, and the single there. PCA hitting 277 with 13 homers, 43 runs scored, 35 ribbies, 16 steals. And then after he hit for the cycle, he was immediately picked off first base, which was the most quintessential PCA moment that you could possibly have. That was laugh out loud funny to me, because I saw it. They did the cut in on the big inning. I was like, oh wow, Pete Crow hit this drink, and they were talking about it. He hit the cycle, and then boom, there he is, gets picked off first. And I was like, oh, Pete Crow, you're adorable.
I got a lot of feelings on this. There's so many things. First off, this is just like, I got to put this out there. This is like yesterday. I'm a cycle guy, so that we didn't lead off with the cycle and we led off with a 9-inning, 1 earned run guy.
We're gonna have to go to therapy. I just can't make Welsh happy in this relationship.
I cannot believe we don't lead with a cycle. Because a cycle is a relatively like amazing thing that happens in baseball. On top of it, Pete Crow is now up to 277, 13 homers, and 16 stolen bases. He was obviously disastrous with some of the defensive stuff. He's had these ups and downs, but that cycle now put Pete Crow-Armstrong 0.01 off of the WAR leader in baseball. Bobby Witt Jr. is at a 4 WAR. Pete Crow-Armstrong is at a 3.9. He was in the top 5 prior to this game. That jumped over Yordan Alvarez. So, like, not only has Pete Crow had a great season, and not only has he overcome a lot of the negatives of last year, he's running back, being one of the more valuable players in baseball. To you and I's chagrin, we're both super negative Nancy's on him. But 13 homers, 16 stolen bases, literally neck and neck on WAR, hits for the cycle, and we give him the second bill. We give him the.
You know what? I have a solution to this problem. So, what time is it there by you? What I always forget, like when the time changes, where things are in Arizona. What time is it?
3 hours. I know exactly what you're gonna do, and you're gonna put me in my. You're about to put me in the mood you were in yesterday. You do whatever you want. You guys are the decision makers. I spend
about an hour and a half putting the show together. I think you should get up at 3. That's easy. Everybody can wake up on the East Coast to get it.
No, I just want people to know that Joe sees the cycle 1 spot lower than a 9-inning, 1-run given up game.
Well, I think Pete Crow-Armstrong has his flaws. Pete Crow-Armstrong is a fun fantasy guy. The cycle is a fun event. But I think the Dustin May conversation that we just spent 8 minutes on is actually a really interesting one, because we talked about the Red Sox failures. We talked about the Dustin May evolution. I think from a fantasy perspective, that I think people who have Dustin May are going, okay, what do I do here? This is real. And we pointed out some of the fixes he's made, and you astutely, kind of put some shine on that, which I think helps a lot of people. Whereas it was a great night for Pete Crow. he's at the top. He got a graphic. He's not in the ups and downs.
Yeah, good for him. Right on.
I mean,
three up. Pete Crow cycle.
Maybe it's just spite. Maybe I don't like Pete Crow-Armstrong that much. By the way, did you see Wonky Penguin drop the stat in there? Did you see that one about Pete Crow since his problem with the White Sox lady?
Oh,
He's
yes,
in 318 with 8 homers, 13 RBI in 26 games. So clearly that worked out for all parties. So what I'd like to see at the end of the year is them come together for like a joint bobblehead. I would like to see that. They give it away at the Cubs place at Wrigley. They give it away at the South Side as well. A little joint where she's yelling at him and he's grabbing his crotch out in the outfield and they're very pissed off at each other. That's a bobblehead worth owning. Joint bobblehead. Bring the city together, Chicago. Zach Wheeler, season high 9 strikeouts, 6 shutout innings. Terrific. Again, I'll take the giant L, man. I was really worried about him. He has been aces, man. He's been fantastic. Colt Keith, 3 for 4 with 3 home runs. That's 3 more almost than he's had all year. So 6 RBI. He's starting to get red hot there, so that's fun. Byron Buxton can't be stopped. He's up to 23 home runs. Wish I picked him yesterday. I did not. And J.J. Bleday continues to hit as all the Reds did yesterday against the Mets. He had a home run. Suarez had 2 home runs. And Chase Burns, 5 scoreless innings in a 12-0 rout of the New York Mets. But I want to do a deep dive here. Before we get to it, I want to shout out some of our folks here who are watching the show. And I mean watching it religiously. So we've got, the great streaks in baseball. You got Cal Ripken. You got Joe DiMaggio. You got all that. Van Rod is on a 55 stream streak. And Jay Chow is on a 55 stream streak. Okay? That is impressive stuff. Let me tell you. So shout out to all of you two and everybody who's here every single day watching us argue about stupid baseball things on Leading Off. So that is spectacular. Welsh, you have any nice things to say about Jay Chow and Van Rod for yourself?
I should get up earlier and I could write some nice things, but I'll get up earlier next time and I'll write some nice things.
You could. He got a graphic. What more do you want?
Nothing.
Everybody got their graphics.
I'm not a Pete Crow guy. That's fine.
I don't like it. He's the guy that you love him when he's on your team, but you hate him when he's on everybody else's. I think he's that personality. I just think that's how he is.
Van Rod's for everybody.
Van Rod is for everybody. All right, let's talk about Nick Kurtz for a second, shall we? Because he's been spectacular. 3 for 5 with a pair of homers, 5 RBI, and a walk. He's first in the majors with 57 RBI, 67 walks, and the highest OBP, 443. He's crushing OBP leagues. He's tied for 4th with 51 runs scored. Tied for 9th in home runs with 18. And his OPS is at 1,006. His career OPS, by the way, is 1,005. Right now, he's at plus 390 for MVP. The Athletics are in this thing. Aaron Judge is on the shelf, waiting for that timetable, but no matter what, he's going to miss a big chunk of time. Man, if the Athletics get in the playoffs, it's really tough not to make a case for serious look at Nick Kurtz. What are your thoughts?
I think it's speculate. It's like if you want to play the speculation market. I felt really good about like Jose Ramirez in speculation. I don't know if you're getting the odds that I'd want to get, but I also don't think there's any runaways. Like Bobby Witt's the runaway right now, but his team sucks. Like everybody's hurt. It's just Bobby Witt that's carrying this team. But statistically, he's up there. He's been great defensively. He's the league leader in WAR. So like he's at the top. I think you also have Yordan Alvarez, not just from a WAR perspective. He's 3rd in WAR, but he's got 24 homers. He's hitting 328. I think that trounces Nick Kurtz as well. And then you've got the return of Aaron Judge that's out there. I definitely think if you wanted to play the stock market of futures and play ups and downs and stuff like that, like he's in the conversation. I just don't think he's at the top of the conversation. I think it's Witt. I think it's Alvarez. And I think if Judge comes back in a decent amount of time, he is going to make it super annoying. But by no means does he not deserve to be in that conversation. I actually don't really think there's much of anybody else. Like I really do like Ben Rice, but like Judge is going to like eat into Ben Rice and stuff. So yeah, I think he's in the tier, but I think there's a tier 1, and then I think there's like a tier 1B, and that's where Kurtz is.
2 quick questions. First, when does Judge have to come back to be realistic to win this award?
It's a good question. I think he's got to be back. I don't even remember the timeline. I gotta be honest with you right now.
There is none.
Yeah. Okay. Got
that's the thing.
248 average, 17 homers. I mean, realistically, he could maybe do this if he came back even at the All-Star break and he comes back and then he has, 2.5 months where he drops like 20 something homers and he puts up a 40 home run season and he raises his average. But the reason that makes that so tough is it's like if Alvarez keeps his pace, Alvarez is going to have 45 homers and hit 330. Like, you're not going to be able to beat that. But it's a media award. Like you always say, it's a media award. Yeah. So it's like if he comes back, if Judge does, and he carries his team and WAR's going up and homers are going up, like he's gonna make it really messy because you've got a couple players on teams that stink. And that's why the AL
Speaking
is
of
so
teams
stinky.
that stink, here's my argument against Bobby Witt. I don't like MVP in a last place team, no matter how good you are statistically. I know A-Rod did it with the Texas Rangers. I know it's happened before. I just hate it. It's like having a great season for a team that does nothing to me. I don't know. You're still last place. Like, I know that's not the best way of looking at it, but I think it's a realistic way of looking at it. Do you think that hurts Bobby Witt's chance?
Yeah, I said that. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Their team stinks. There's no good pieces around. Vinny's out. Cole Reagans can't get healthy. Like, they're not going to keep winning games. So, yeah, I've said that. I completely agree. Like, he is just like the total package, and he's got the like. I keep saying WAR a lot, but it's like that's what like writers are going to pay attention to a decent amount for this. He's going to be at the top of the conversation. That's why Judge can jump into it. This is like one of those where everyone's begrudging. They're like, okay, well, it's Bobby, and then there's Kurtz, and there's Alvarez. There's nobody is running away with any of this stuff like that's happening over in the NL. So yeah, I think I don't think Witt is a guarantee. I don't think any of these guys are a guarantee, and that's why I don't like the market. I don't like, to your point, if Kurtz just goes off, he could definitely be in the conversation, but I think people will hold that little baby ballpark against him and stuff. So this is a weird spot for me with these because it's like I don't think any of these are good options.
I think it's incredible to get the Athletics in the playoffs, though. Like if you're the aircraft carrier that lands this team into the playoffs, that's pretty impressive.
But he's 3-1. That's why I don't like it. He's 3-1. Like,
no,
give me 8-1, and I'll.
But I feel like it's telling you something, which is it's not that far fetched. Like that 3-1 right now is looking at Bobby Witt in last place. It's looking at Aaron Judge without a time frame. It's looking at Jose Ramirez on the shelf and going, Nick Kurtz is a good story, and he keeps hitting home runs at a ridiculous pace. And I know he's not going to play in Las Vegas every week, but he's going to play still half his games at home in a very favorable ballpark. So a lot to look at there. Kyle Tucker sighting last night, 3-run homer. Look at that. Good times. Also, something that really blew my mind yesterday. I wasn't prepared for this bit of good news. Eury Perez is going to begin a rehab assignment on Thursday. Welsh, this I felt came out of absolutely nowhere. I was shocked by this news. He's going to go 3 to 4 innings or 50 pitches, whatever comes up first. So we're looking at like a 2-week kind of thing if everything goes well. I was floored by this. I was expecting after the All-Star break for Eury Perez. Looks like we're going to get him back before July.
Yeah, I don't know how excited I am about it. Little Fool's Gold, he wasn't really that great, but in smaller leagues, this doesn't mean a lot. 12 and 15, this means a whole bunch more, especially if he can kind of regain form. But I don't know, he might be coming back to a Sandy-less team, or he might have a couple starts, and that team might start trading off some of those pieces. But yeah, I'm lukewarm right now. Absolute lukewarm about Eury Perez. I need to see him come back and feel good. If I own him, I'm not looking to like sell him because there's no great trade value. Mm-hmm. I'm not starting him on his first start back. That's just me. I'm gonna wait.
I can understand waiting for him. Sure, that makes sense. But for those of us in 12-team leagues that have him, or 15-team leagues that have him, this is great because pitchers are dropping like flies, and I don't have to wait 2 months. I can only wait 2 more weeks. That's terrific. Spencer Strider, he's going to be shut down for 4 weeks and then go another MRI to see how the inflammation is. So you're looking at mid-August right now from what the buzz is saying. So that's really tough.
That was my favorite one of yesterday, by the way, because they were just like, oh, yeah, it was like inflammation. It's like the best case scenario. And then it was like, the report is 4 weeks where he can't move. And then after that, they'll take a look at it and he'll start. Like, he's going to be out for 2 months. So,
but this is the Fried thing. This is why I brought that up yesterday, because I felt like that was the exact same thing with Fried, which is, it's inflammation. The first thing you got to do is give a month off to see what the inflammation situation is. Then you recheck, and then you gauge from there if you're going to start your program again. Now, I don't remember the last bit of news we've had on Max Fried. It's been a while. So, very tough
right now.
Pretty much. Rookie Lookie, Colt Carrigg, 3-run home run. Man, I missed out by $3 on a bid from my home league this week in him. So mad. Wanted the Colt Carrigg, couldn't get the Colt Carrigg. What are you going to do? Kevin McGonigle, 2 for 3 with 2 runs scored, a solo home run. He can't be stopped, Welsh. And Justin Crawford, 3 for 4 with a ribby and a steal. 7-1 win over the Marlins there with Zach Wheeler pitching very well. And, it's Tuesday, which means it's time, everybody, for Prospecting with the Welsh. That's right. Here's where Welsh talks about the big prospects in Major League Baseball and what you need to do with them. And this is the promotion edition. So we're talking about guys on the move. And let's start with Andrew Fischer. Welsh, take it away.
Officially moved up from high A to double A. Andrew Fischer is top 5 in baseball in homers right now. He's dropped 20 of them. He's got a couple stolen bases, 50 plus on the runs and RBIs. Moving to double A, it's not going to get him to the majors, but also I would say this year, crazier things have happened in the world. This is an advanced college bat. He is just absolutely met every test through the minors that he has had so far in a very short stint, except for one major glaring issue, and it is his strikeouts. He has a 33% strikeout rate. So I would say also incredibly wildly impressive that, that system, they're willing to let him advance how he is with that strikeout rate, but he has just been tattooing and murder balling the baseball. He's almost got a 3.46 slash. He's got an over 1100 OPS. He's done a really good job of getting the ball in the air. He's pulling the living crap out of the ball. He's hitting it hard. He is the true definition of just a very exciting power mashing bat, but he has definitely got a big strikeout problem that he's going to solve. So going up to double A really starts to connect with us. This is not a redraft thing. This is the promotion edition. So we're just talking about some really interesting ones. But of all the prospects here, there is this window where you never know what can happen. The Brewers just DFA'd Luis Rengifo. They obviously brought up Cooper Pratt. If Fischer were to show his ability to lower his strikeouts at double A, you never know. But I think this is going to be a next year thing. But Andrew Fischer is flying up their system, and he is going to be someone we're going to be paying attention to next year because he is probably going to walk out of the minors with 30-plus homers this season near the tippy top.
Next up, Chicago White Sox. Can't be stopped, that organization, that's for sure, in terms of prospects. Caleb Bonemer, the latest to talk about, Welsh. So where are we at with Caleb?
So similar, almost exact similar path, except there's 2 glaring issues. But he's gone from high A and he's going up to double A. So both Fischer and Bonemer just received their promotions. It's going to start today. 18 homers, 10 stolen bases, lots of counting stats, kind of in that 50 reign of run and RBI. 13, almost 14% walk rate, but his 2 biggest holes so far are the strikeout rate, which he also shares with Fischer, 29%. That's an issue. And his average really kind of started to stink. It got down to 238. But Bonemer, like Andrew Fischer, is one of those guys. He had a 62% pull percentage. So he hits the ball extremely hard. He is pulling the ball in the air. And he is going to be a big, big fantasy bat. Is it going to be more like Colson Montgomery, though, where he's going to have that big hole in his swing? Or are those things going to, start to rectify even if he moves up the system? This is the lowest he's ever hit. He's hit 280 to 271 across all of last year. Or I guess technically 281 at low A, 278 at high A. High A, the batting average went down, but the counting stats went through the freaking roof. He's a really interesting next line of those exciting White Sox bats that could be out there. And he could be a guy that's hitting 4 or 5 for them. Maybe next year. We really need to see those things cut down. But again, Bonemer and Fischer, both explosive offensive pieces. There's a lot more stolen base potential here. He will be the next big line because all the White Sox do is bring up their prospects. So Caleb Bonemer going up to double A.
All right, so move to double A. Let's talk about Kendry Chourio, starting pitching prospect of the Kansas City Royals.
Lowest of all of them. Again, This is me wanting you guys to just know about some players. He is not going to be fantasy relevant this year. Probably not going to be next year, but they could use him. They don't have any other pitchers that are out there. But Kendry Chourio is one of my absolute favorite prospects in the minors, and he just went from low A to high A. He is 18 years old, but he is one of the best out there. He had a 1.88. So just think about this. He jumped up last year. He came over to rookie ball, pitched a little bit. He was able to then get to, and this is from the Dominican to Arizona, to then pitching in A ball as a 17-year-old. He's now an 18-year-old with a 1.88 ERA through 11 starts, 48 innings. He has 9 walks on the year. Absolute dominant stuff. He's got a disgusting curveball, a lockdown curveball, and he's probably, if not already in Dynasty, top 5 Dynasty pitcher in the prospect world. At worst, top 10. He might be one of the best out there. about 12 months from now. But Kendry Chourio, if you play in those leagues where you've got, let's say, even 5 keepers that you're rocking, obviously Dynasty is a different discussion, but even if you have like a 5 minor league keeper, Chourio is someone you might want to take a look at because he gets to even AA by the end of this year. You never know. He could be one of those 19, 20-year-old pitchers that's pushing in the majors. He's so advanced, and they're moving him up. We do all the conversation about like, oh, Jesus Mate is young, and he moves up. Kendry Chourio, if he is an 18-year-old that is moving up, let's say to AA, like that's unheard of. So I'm absolutely in love with Kendry Chourio.
Now, a guy that we just talked about last week who just hitting the snot out of the baseball wherever he is, Eli Willits. Another guy, just contact everywhere. Another prospect that we're hoping to get sooner than later, but still, he's just 18 years old, still shortstop for the Washington Nationals organization. But this kid is just raking everywhere, Welsh.
Yeah, so now this is like slight movement. We've been promoted for the last week. Joe mentioned it on the show last week that Eli Willits was, getting that promotion. He is 5 games in, so I have a reason behind this. So Eli Willits on the year is hitting .297 with 10 homers and 33 stolen bases. Absolutely ridiculous. He is one of only 2 prospects in the minor leagues to have 30-plus stolen bases and double-digit homers. And he is the youngest of those 2. The other is John Heel with the Atlanta Braves. The main thing here that I want to point out is I have moved Willits firmly inside my top 10 prospects overall. That's the argument of Willits versus Holiday. Like I do think Holiday bounced back, but that was not one that I was with. I was on a Holiday side, and Eli Willits is the answer. Eli Willits legitimately might be the number 1 prospect in baseball come year's end. If we lose Leo DeVries and Jesus Mate, talked a lot about the different guys that are out there. Eli Willits might be the best bat of them all. I've been so thoroughly impressed with the way he's been able to get the ball in the air. He's always made a lot of contact. I've thrown comps of like Trey Turner, and it might be beyond that. He has answered every single test that's been put towards him in this short stint of time, and he is deservedly. I think I put him at like number 7 on my upcoming Dynasty rank update, and I think I think the promotion is just another reason to really pay attention to that. He also has 11% strikeout rate in those 5 games. So Eli Willits wildly moving up in the streets for Dynasty prospects, and I'm just obsessed with him.
All right, Welsh, one more guy that we're obsessed with, but we're waiting for a promotion. It's Kade Anderson, who has been lights out. So what's happening here with the Mariners?
Yeah, and this is the ending to just say, why is there no promotion? If this is the promotion edition, I don't know what we're doing here. Like maybe there's no room. Sometimes that's a factor. I think teams like the Padres, I think Preller likes to keep prospects down for trade value. What more does Kade Anderson need to study and understand in AA? Through 55 innings, he has a 1.13 ERA. He has given up. This is like in 55 innings, he has given up 7 earned runs. We've seen guys do that in a game in the minor leagues and the majors. 7 total earned runs. The expected stuff, the xFIP 236. That's supportive. It's a over 13 K per 9. He's walking nobody. He has been just as dominant of a starting pitcher that I have ever seen in the minor leagues. And usually this is the type of stuff that would have already warranted, but you can also tell this is why this team is not aggressive towards it, because they've got their guys. Bryce Miller is back. They're piggybacking Luis Castillo. They're doing all this stuff. I think if they were more needy, Kade Anderson would already be in the majors right now. They're not, and that creates this weird situation. This guy needs a promotion because that promotion will dictate he is 1 step away from the majors. There's nothing left to prove. And sometimes on here, it's good after a month or a couple months of us doing this to re-check in on prospects that deserve it. Kade Anderson does, because Kade is one of the guys that is going to give fits to guys like Eli Willits being the number 1. I don't remember a time where you have had 2 pitching prospects inside the top 10 valued for the guys that rank prospects for fantasy. It's hard enough to get 1 guy in the top 10. I don't remember the last time we had 2, and I don't remember the last time that you had 2 guys that warranted the top 5. And that's what's going on right now with Kade Anderson and Seth Hernandez. So Kade needs a promotion. Ain't nothing more we're learning in AA. Hopefully the next bit of learning is going to be in the majors.
All right. Well, those are the prospects we learned about with Prospecting with the Welsh. Make sure you subscribe to the FantasyPros MLB channel for more videos just like this. All right, next up here, obviously, is a fun fact, which is it looks like the Giants are actually looking at potentially moving on with some of the players. Rafael Devers, Willie Adames, Matt Chapman, according to Buster Olney, all might be available. Luis Ariz and Robbie Ray, also potentially. Who is the most likely of all the Giants, in your opinion, to be moved of this grouping?
That's a good question. Luis Ariz would be the most. I guess if you're asking the question, because I think how this was phrased was like Robbie Ray and Luis Ariz are the most obvious guys. And then there's the other three. So I would say Luis Ariz, and I'd say Robbie Ray. Now, if you're asking me between those big three, dude, that's a really tough question. I would lean...
I think Chapman.
Yeah, maybe it's going to be the cheapest. Devers is the most difficult. Like when I saw that they were going to trade, I'd be like, well, they're not trading Devers because like he's just got all this money. Like I don't see how that's tradable.
Well, here you go. We just talked about the Milwaukee Brewers infield situation. Would you want Matt Chapman playing third base? Would you be willing to move one of the prospects for him?
It'd be funny if they retraded for Willie Adames.
Well, I don't think that's what I'm saying. That's not happening. But like, I mean, I guess never say never. But I don't think that would happen.
Yeah, maybe. I mean. When you've got, see, I'd have to look at his contract because, like, I feel like what the Brewers would want would be short-term contract type of guys because they're investing in their future in Cooper Pratt and Luis Ariz, and then Mate is going to get that in the near future. They're fully invested on low contracts for the guys they have. So anything they would do, they're going to want guys that have options or one-year deals left. So I think the fit makes sense. Matt Chapman would be a great fit in Milwaukee. I just don't know what he's got
left. I'd like to see Robbie
left.
Ray to the A's, to be honest. Like, Athletics would be, like, I keep saying, like, they need, like, another pitcher, like another veteran starting pitcher. That would be a guy for me that I can say, okay, yeah, Athletics, that makes sense. Let's try that one.
I'm looking at, trying to look at this. Matt Chapman is not an option for the Brewers or any team in baseball because he has
making that much.
He has a contract through 2030, and it's $25 million every single year. So that is not a contract that anyone will buy. So no wonder
that's
they're
the problem with
these
the
guys are
Giants.
available.
The Giants had all this money to spend. They tried to sign Aaron Judge and his brother Arson Judge. It did not work out, and then they just started throwing money at anybody that would take it. And this is what happens. Like, you got to have a good evaluation process on your players that you're spending money on.
I'm going to look at Willie Adames now, too, because, like, this is hilarious. I guess I hadn't... I don't think about...
I know is bad.
Yeah, I don't think about, like, contracts a whole lot, so I don't think about, like, you know, what type of situation did these teams put themselves in. But to have... I don't know why I can't... Apparently I can't check this, but I'm assuming Adames had signed a 7-year... Oh, yeah, I mean, he's through 2031, so...
Yeah.
LOL to all of these guys being... You know, they'll listen on it. It's like, no, you'd have to do what the Diamondbacks did with Bronson Arroyo. You're going to have to give prospects with those guys for anybody to look at those.
Keep in mind, a lot of teams have to get over the minimum potentially next year.
Well,
so
next year is a different...
Would you? Yeah, but if you're looking ahead and you're like, oh, you know what? Chapman could be our third baseman for the next 4 years, 5 years. Maybe that's not a terrible investment. I'm just saying, like, maybe it's not as absurd with the looming changes that are coming to Major League Baseball, potentially.
I just don't think anybody makes a move like that and hamstrings their team for 5 years on a contract off of the idea that there might be. But also, I don't think the Brewers are a team that are facing that.
No, probably not the Brewers. No, I didn't realize Chapman's contract was quite...
That'd be like the Marlins.
I knew Adames was, and I knew Devers was, but...
Yeah.
Plus, Devers brings a whole bunch of other baggage with him. 3 up and 3 down. JT Ginn. Fantastic. 6 innings Monday, 1 run. He's been terrific, too. 71 innings, 52 hits, 65 strikeouts, just 25 earned runs. Ryan Nelson bounced back for him. 2-run ball against the Angels yesterday, 7 innings. Mike Trout did hit a home run that game. He's 2 for 3. The downs, Jared Jones, 5 runs, 8 hits. I bet Carmen Mlodzinski was probably putting something in his food or something. I can only imagine, right? Maybe a little like, something. I don't know. Zach Neto, 0 for 4. Ugh, it's bad times for Zach Neto. He's got 19 strikeouts in his last 8 games, too. He's done nothing. And KY Tang, 5 runs, 3 1/3 in a loss against the Tigers yesterday. Lots of injury stuff. Some good stuff, actually. Some returns for a change. Cal Raleigh, he'll be activated for today's game. Braves activated Drake Baldwin, so you're getting not 1 but 2 big catchers back. Apologies yesterday. So Christian Scott's injury was a right hip impingement, so hopefully... minimum stint on the IL. That's what the hope is. And as I predicted, Kodai Senga will take his turn today in that rotation against the Reds. Meanwhile, the Mets put Jorge Polanco on the 60-day IL. Boy, oh boy. Mets really know how to pick it. Just can't get enough of those injury signings. Ellie De La Cruz, rehab assignment this week, so that's exciting. Grayson Rodriguez goes to the IL with back inflammation. Josh Smith comes off the IL. Corey Seager, 7-day concussion. I mean, it'd be comical if it wasn't so sad, but Corey Seager, man, he lives on the IL, Welsh. It's crazy, his whole career.
Yeah, it feels like Stanton a little bit. Like, it's just not getting any better. It's getting worse. It fell hard off of that World Series bid. Ever since then, it's just been inconsistent, and it's tough because you want to chase him because he was one of those floor players too. Lots of average, run, RBI, homers, and it's been a couple messy years. It looks like it's going to get messy. I think I'm going to be out. I think I'm out of the business of Corey Seager. I kind of had it still a little bit this year because it was cheap. Like, you could get Seager cheaper than Perdomo. That doesn't say much now, but like, I just don't want to keep doing. Like, Corey Seager is just a magnet to injuries.
Yeah, unfortunately. More injury news too. Trey Turner's right wrist X-rays came back negative. Tyler Glasnow continues to be shut down from throwing. So again, no timetable for him with the back issue, which was supposed to be just, it's a back. He's going to go on the IL for 10 days. And my God. Again, Tyler Glass. You want to talk about being out on somebody? You have to be out on Tyler Glasnow forever. Like, he is just, again, comically bad in terms of playing. Justin Verlander continues to throw simulated games, continues to throw rehab starts, but it seems like the Tigers like, nope, we don't like what we're seeing here. So still no timetable for him, which is a little weird. Matthew Boyd is scheduled to throw a bullpen today. We'll see how that goes. Teoscar Hernandez, minor league rehab assignment this week. Tommy Edman is going to make his season debut on Wednesday, and then Edwin Diaz throwing a bullpen session this week. Hey, remember when Edwin Diaz was in that weird cockfighting story? What happened to that? Where'd that go, Welsh?
Throwing a bullpen at Chick-fil-A, I'm sure. Whatever with Edwin Diaz. Not good for Tanner Scott, by the way. If that's the case, if this starts to pop back up.
But what happened to the scandal? It just kind of disappeared.
We did this. I mean, I don't know. Was that me and Enrico? I mean, we did this like a week or so ago. Like, MLB doesn't care. Like, Ken Rosenthal was on a couple shows. He was on like Foul Territory and a few shows saying like, nothing's going to happen with it. Don't expect there to be, and there isn't. So
good times.
Yeah.
Good times. All right, let's look at the home run board. I did not get one yesterday, so let's see how bad did it burn me. Still at third place here. Tied with Solar. 31 for High Cubby, 32 for Whips. 21 is the high water mark on the board. I see Lee's up there, Razor, Carly, Life with Fife, SoFlo, A-Wash. That's kind of the top 10. Then you got Jay Chow up there, Positive Grouch. Lots of good folks here. Fred Dinger, still. You got to call yourself Fred Dinger. You better be on the board, Freddie. That's what I'm saying. So Juan Soto jersey up for grabs, fantasypros.com/chat. That's where the Discord lives and where you can make your home run calls. And speaking of Juan Soto, that's where I'm going today. Mr. Singer on the board in Cincinnati. Mets didn't score any runs yesterday. I think they can get one, at least from Juan Soto hitting a home run. Welsh, where are you going for your home run call today?
I am going to go to our boy Matty Olson. That's going to be my play against, I think it's Adrian Hauser, whose favorite thing is to give up homers. So that's what we're going to do. Matt Olson on the homers against Adrian Hauser.
All right, we're going to try to stay hot. Got my bet yesterday, cha-ching. So it's time for the best bets of the day from Hard Rock Bet, the sponsor of our show. And of course, don't forget, everybody, World Cup action is happening right now at Hard Rock Bet. Now is the time to get in on it. And of course, you can bet on your favorite superstars, your favorite countries, all that stuff at Hard Rock Bet. And be sure to check out the No Goals, No Problem and Super Sub, 2 promos designed to give you your bets insurance all tournament long. They've got profit boosts, no sweat bets, bonus bets. They got everything happening over there, and some MLB too. And I like the Red Sox on the money line, plus 104. Today you got Peyton Tolley on the hill, a 2.28 ERA at home against the Toronto Blue Jays. That's where I'm going. Welsh, where are you going for your best bet of the day?
Nerfy time. We're going to go with the Padres. Should have been wearing the Padres hat. Padres and Cardinals on the no run through the first inning. Maybe a little bit of a hangover. The offense not having much against Dustin May. Well, maybe that can continue. Palante has been pretty good. Michael King has been pretty good. The Padres offense has not been, by almost having the perfect game against them. First inning shutout, so no run first inning. Nerfy action for the Cardinals and the Padres for my Hard Rock bet of the day.
New signups at Hard Rock Bet. Bet $5. Get $150 in bonus bets plus your winnings when you win. Only at Hard Rock Bet, Florida's sportsbook. Hard Rock Bet. Okay, fun show, everybody. Before we leave you today, we have a fun video that's been making its way around the internet. that I saw this morning. I'm not sure where the game was from. Was it a college baseball game or a high school game or minor league? I don't know what it was.
This is AI.
But it made me laugh.
This is like, to me, this is clearly AI.
All right, so here we go. And boom. So there you go. So what happens is, and for those of you, no, let's bring it up again. For those of you who are listening to the show and not watching, we have a guy who you can just run this on loop because it's amazing. He basically slides into second base, pops up, the umpire calls him out, and as he punches the out, he punches him in the face. He feels bad afterwards, and then unfortunately goes back to the dugout. I like that the guy did not leave the base. He's like, you know what? If you punch me in the face, if the umpire punches you in the face, I think you should get the base. I think that should override the call. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree, but that is AI. Like, I stared at that thing like 10 times yesterday, and I was just like, no, it's not. It would be awesome if that was true. There's no chance that's not AI. Look at all the digital artifacts. The umpire at the bottom doesn't move. The catcher just looks away. There's no reactions. That is clearly AI.
Well, you know what? It was fun. So
we love seeing high school kids get punched in the face by umps.
No, it's funny.
The most fun.
So wait, what's AI about this? Help Grandpa
the video.
out.
The entire video is AI. Vote in here. Do you not think that? Look at the arm. The arm is a cartoon. He actually rolled up his arm like whoop whoop whoop. It is 100% AI. There's too many digital artifacts. The biggest tell to AI is when no one reacts. You ever see those videos where it's like, oh, look, this hippopotamus just jumped up and snatched a man off the thing, and everyone just standing there like,
there you go.
That's
still funny though. Still funny.
It is.
So
I love seeing people get punched. It is very funny.
Yeah, people get hit in the nuts. It's hilarious. That's why America's Funny.
Well, yeah, that would have been really
35.
The dude
if you punch him in the nuts.
Yeah, if he got like kicked him, if he was like cha cha like that would have been a little bit funnier for sure.
There you go. Well, you know what to do after the show. Get on that AI machine. Make it happen.
Yeah, make some people
send around the internet. Get a million hits on that bad boy.
Nuts.
That'll do it for us. But the story of the game goes on for the Welsh. I'm Joey P. We'll see you next time, kids. Don't get punched in the nuts, everybody. Avoid that. I saw Alfonso Ribeiro in the airport.
Who?
A couple months back in Florida.
Who's that?
Nice guy. Who's that? It's Carlton, the host of America's Funniest Home Videos.
Gotcha. I didn't know
for
he
God's
hosted.
sakes.
I thought it was Bob Saget.
Bob Saget died.